Be happy. All right, we're live.
All right.
Okay, so today we are witnessing some interesting stuff here. So, also following hi-fi news as I usually do. Macintosh X Virgil. So, for those that don't know who Virgil is a designer for Louis Vuitton. You can see the Louis Vuitton carpetry down there. What's interesting here is that I didn't read through all this, so we can do that if we want to. But right here, this is what we're witnessing here.
That is
Uh, I mean,
different. That's very bright.
what's your opinion on it? First of all, I don't think this is even for sale. I just it says right here this one of one amplifier. So I think this is a concept. I
Yeah.
think it says it here too. Yeah, concept. So it's a concept.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, right? What?
It could be just a proof of concept. Like, how do people react
Yeah.
to something like this? Do we think there'd ever be
Well, to
interest in something
to
like that?
make matters a little bit more interesting,
Yeah.
Virgil is a Louis Vuitton designer. Like I said, he passed away 2021, and this project has been in the pipeline for a while, apparently.
Mm.
Um, Virgil passed away at a pretty young age of 41. He was a very talented designer, obviously
Mm.
for Louis Vuitton, very accomplished. But he passed away unfortunately on a unfortunate circumstance of cancer. So this I don't want to. I mean, this is an interesting concept, but I mean, I don't know how to feel about it. The first thing that came to my mind when I looked at this is like that's a fussy color.
I mean,
That's a fussy color right there.
kind of.
That's
Fosty's
kind of
more bronze. Yeah, that's more of a copper tone. The Macintosh is definitely more orange.
yeah.
Kind of like 1970s orange is
I
what.
get I get where they're coming from. They're doing the
Yeah.
Louis Vuitton kind of thing here, but
Yeah, yeah.
interesting. It's interesting because they're not like selling this. I was like, oh, okay. Maybe some people like it colorful,
Yeah.
but
I'll be honest with you. I kind of fuck with it a bit. Like I do. Like I like it in the sense that it's different. Like it's very different. It's vibrant. It is definitely a very unique aesthetic. Now, from a retail side, I have no idea how these would sell. I would imagine it would be a very niche option, especially since I'd imagine it'd be more expensive. But I kind of like the color
I mean, but
that way.
to be fair, I mean, they're not selling this, right? It's
Yeah, yeah.
one
But
of
just
one.
even I'm just kind of going off like the what if this was something that would be brought to market. I don't know, man. I think it's cool when a company, does something like this, even if it's just one on one. Um, yeah, yeah. I don't mind it. I guess
I
that's my reaction. I don't mind it.
Yeah, and I kind of looked into it. You can still see the MCT connection, which is for their SACD
Hmm.
um, proprietary connection right here. Other than that, I mean, in terms of input output, in terms of like the construction here and stuff, I don't think there's anything changed from the original AME 900.
Yeah,
And I also find it quite interesting how that they decided the model that they're gonna choose is the AME 900. Now you see AME 8950, but that's just
yeah.
a newer version. So, yeah, I mean, hey, look, at least Pete from across the street, that's his name, seemed quite interested in it.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, my initial like reaction was like, wow, okay. Um, and I also found it intriguing that in terms of like the design, they didn't really change much in terms
Hmm.
of the like, it's basically a painted MA 950, right?
Yeah,
You say what it is. So, I thought that was interesting. And also, I feel like Macintosh is one of those pieces like, yes, this color is questionable. It's a bit shocking, really. But I think Macintosh, if any brand can absorb this kind of color, um, I think it'll be Macintosh. And yeah, it's a interesting look the more I look at it.
I think it's decent because number one, I mean, it just shows you how much color can have an impact on the vibe, right?
Yeah.
A completely different like experience just looking at it. And then number two, I think with a lot of vintage retro style products being back in vogue, and especially 60s 70s designs. I mean, like I said earlier, that's a 70s orange color.
Mm.
So I could see in some rooms that would just pop and be like a centerpiece for a vintage style setup. You got your big, you know, clips your KLH speakers. You got your Macintosh right there, bro. All that's missing is like the shag carpet.
Yeah, not for me, but I see where you're coming from.
And maybe
Um,
rolling up a few things that we can't say on here.
on a different topic about Macintosh, because like Macintosh is like one of those brands that I'm very familiar with, that I have a long love for, with their vintage gear especially.
Yeah.
So just a question out there, like what's your, like, they've made some interesting moves recently, right?
Okay.
So one of it being that they got acquired by Bose. Excuse
Hmm.
me. Some people are saying it's a good thing. Some people saying it's a bad thing. I didn't really have an opinion on it at the time, so I didn't make any reaction or anything like that, like other YouTube channels. But what's your opinion on that? Like, do you think that's a good thing or a bad thing? My immediate like audiophile side of me is like, ah, that's terrible. But at the same time, Bose has stupid economy of scale.
Hmm.
So, but then does that translate to the consumers, right? Like a reduction in price? Not necessarily, right?
No.
So, I don't know. I don't think it changes much. I mean, I think they're keeping most of the same people and stuff like that, from my understanding.
I mean,
Um,
Macintosh hasn't been, they've been owned by banks for God knows how long. So I don't think the Bose acquisition really changes much of anything.
yeah.
For decades now, Macintosh has not been an independent brand. They've always had to answer to somebody. There's always been a demand for profits year on year. So
Mm-hmm.
I don't think this idea of Bose is going to ruin them, like not any more than any other large company who wants profits is going to.
Yeah.
So I don't necessarily know if it's going to be a good thing or bad thing. Like you, I think it's just going to be a net neutral position, depending on if Bose allows Macintosh to be Macintosh.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people, my first initial thought was, I think they're positioning themselves more for the automotive market, more to upscale automotive.
Yeah.
That was kind of my knee jerk reaction, is just deployed to, because Bose is pretty well seated with Chevrolet, Hyundai, and companies like that, Mazda. So they already have really lucrative contracts. So yeah.
So for those of you joining right now, that's what we're talking about. A special collaboration with Virgil, which is a designer for Louis Vuitton, with Macintosh. But yeah, someone just commented that this is a wig color, Trump's wig color. So
Oh my God.
that's gonna forever ruin that for me. Any little feeling I had for this piece here, but
God.
but yeah, we're just riffing on latest hi-fi news. So that was kind of like the most interesting thing for me, was like, oh, that's cool. Like, are they gonna sell it or not? And there's always a story to it. You can read this if you want. I didn't really read it all that much. Some parts were interesting. But yeah, so I
I have no
usually
idea what we're reacting to, by the way, guys.
just usual hi-fi news stuff. But I don't
Yeah.
know about you, Sean, but I usually go on this website right here a lot to follow hi-fi news. I think it's a good source of hi-fi
Oh,
news.
High Five Pig.
Yeah,
Okay.
hi-fi pig. But I usually go to like the news page and then just scroll through for the latest news or product launch or whatever.
Okay.
They usually have some interesting stuff here. Um,
Okay.
Rune Nucleus Titan streaming server. I I don't really know what this is about. I mean, as far as I'm concerned,
What do you think about Spotify and the whole lossless thing?
that's an interesting segue, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, well, first of all, it's not lossless.
Hmm.
So there's that. Um, so I feel like Spotify has utterly shown the hi-fi community that they just don't give a fuck.
Hmm.
They just don't give a shit. They don't. They're trying to attract hi-fi customers by saying we're gonna release lossless. We're gonna release lossless. They've been doing that for years, as long as I can remember, right?
Hmm.
And then they finally release it, and it's like it's not lossless. It's lossless in their mind and their marketing, but it's not lossless.
Hmm.
So like you had all this time to iron things out, and then you finally go to release, and what are you doing? So a part of me is like, no, like fully, I don't endorse what Spotify is doing. And um, now, mind you, am I gonna cancel my Spotify account? No, I have Spotify account, so along with title and other stuff. But the beauty with Spotify is finding music, right? Like you have a large catalog of music. Some of it is not on title. So I see the strength in that, but like I don't see also Spotify correcting that problem anytime soon. If Spotify made such a grave error in any other fashion, in any other kind of way, right? Like I don't
Hmm.
know, throw it out there, whatever kind of law breaking or consumer turn back, like what Netflix is doing, right? Like
Hmm.
Netflix, a lot of people are canceling Netflix right now because of their shows, right? I'm not sure if you're following that, but the whole drama with Netflix. So, then Netflix is gonna have to take action, right? Because they have a lot of cancellations. There's this movement to, for change.
Hmm.
Spotify, I mean, first of all, like a lot of hi-fi enthusiasts don't even have Spotify because they believe Tidal is better, or I will say it is better in terms of fidelity, and they're not gonna get enough volume of cancellation to make the sound decision of, oh yeah, this is a change we have to make. So for the time being,
Do you think it even matters though? Like, more from an audiophile perspective, lossless. Let's even pretend it was real lossless. So,
yeah,
um, do you think that even matters? The
absolutely.
listening experience. Okay.
Why wouldn't it matter?
Because there's a lot of talk about whether or not people can actually hear the difference between lossless versus.
So it's kind of like this, right? Like
Yeah.
the way I see that argument and how people are like, oh, blind A/B tested and all this kind of stuff.
Hmm.
Um, you're not an experienced listener, and even if you are an experienced listener, which by the fact that, by the way, there have been experienced listeners that can decipher
Hmm.
between lossless and lossy materials, but even for them it's hard, right? So the idea is that, oh, we don't need lossless, we just need MP3 for that matter,
Hmm.
good enough, right? But that goes to the same argument of like any car, right? Any watch, anything that we are doing in hi-fi in the realm of high fidelity is like to squeeze that last bit.
Hmm.
And I'm sure you have as well, but like for myself, well, maybe you don't stream as much, so maybe not. But I've had plenty of times where I would play the same material on Spotify and on Tidal, right? And it will sound better on Tidal. Now that may not be just the fact of like, oh, it's lossy versus lossless. It might be a different mastering. It might be different way is processed and all that kind of stuff, right?
Hmm.
But at the end of the day, the commitment on Tidal, at least for me, has been quality.
Hmm.
So that's kind of it. The thing with Spotify that's off-putting to me is like how they're portraying its lossless after so many people waiting in this community, especially, and then they just release it, and then it's not.
Hmm.
It's like blatant lie, and that's disappointing to say the least, at least for me.
Yeah. It's very interesting. I mean, obviously, I haven't tested lossy versus lossless in streaming because I don't stream. But what I have done before is back when I used to download a whole lot of music, there were some places like Lynn, actually, their
Hmm.
label used to have what was it, 24 days or whatever of Christmas. And they used to allow you once per day, they take from an album of theirs, and you'd be allowed to go and download the high res version, the compressed, but whatever FLAC version, and then you could download like the MP3. You know,
Hmm.
and it was very fascinating to me because at the time I was still on Windows, and you could use Foobar 2K, and that would allow you to blind A/B test, like just
Yeah,
go bam to bam to bam right there. It was really
you can
cool.
still do that.
Can you? Cool.
Yeah.
I'm on Apple now, so I don't I'm not familiar with anything on there.
Hmm.
But anyways, it was very fascinating to me to go between the different files to see if I could hear the difference. And sometimes the answer was no. I'll be honest. Sometimes like, dude, I would never pass, the mustard on this. But then other recordings, it was really fucking obvious when you went to the high res. It's
Yeah,
very fascinating to me. It was like completely inconsistent and almost depended on the exact
and
material.
here's the thing that so I've been on the studio side of this, right?
Yeah.
So you have to also understand that when it's recorded,
Hmm.
it can be recorded on DST,
Hmm.
and then it can be downsampled. But anytime there's a conversion,
Hmm.
especially when you're upsampling, it has to be carefully done, or there's artifacts. You're
Hmm.
not doing any justice by upsampling, when you do that, right? So you never know when you're playing these files. Is it native recording
Hmm.
resolution, right, or is it upsampled? So, for example, in other words, let's compare to video because it's the easiest to understand. If I recorded in 1080p and then I edited in 4K, right, by
Hmm.
stretching the image, which
Yeah.
I've done in the past. If you see back in my old videos, it's 4K on YouTube, but it's
Hmm.
1080, it was recorded in 1080p.
Mm.
And the reason I did that in the past is because YouTube used to, I think they still do, compress less when they see a 4K file, regardless.
Mm.
They see a 1080p, they make it look like the worst possible thing, even compared to
I don't
720p.
know what you're talking about.
But when you upsample it to 4K and
Yeah.
then upload it on YouTube, then they see it as 4K, so they, wreck it less, right?
Yeah.
So in similar fashion, mastering engineers may make the decision to upsample if their client wants it. It may not even be the master engineer's intention. It might be like the customer recorded in like 16-bit, right? And then was like, okay, you know what? I want to upsample all the way to DSD and make SACD because there's a market there that I want.
Yeah.
So when you play that SACD, you never know if that was recorded natively in DSD or if it was downsampled, upsampled along the way. You just don't know, right? So that may have something to do with it. So there's like there's a lot of layers to it than just like, oh, MP3 versus FLAC. It's like,
Hmm.
it's not that simple
Well,
as people
it's funny
think.
because there's some websites that will, test it. Here's a blind A/B, and it'll go through, different genres of music. But here's the thing: all of them are recorded like absolute dog shit. The
Yeah.
dynamic compression's through the roof. It was like, and the excerpt from that clip is possibly the worst one. It seems like it's engineered not for science, but to produce a result or,
Yeah.
validation based
And
quote
some
science.
person is commenting that
Yo, it does.
my
Yeah.
mic is similar to this right here.
Yo.
Does it? Nah.
Yeah.
Mine's orange.
Nah,
What are you talking about?
nah. You need it now. It could match the background.
Oh God. Someone's asking if I'm well rested. Yes, I'm somewhat okay now.
Yeah, he doesn't look well rested at all, does he?
I mean, like I've been working on my hi-fi system again, and
Hmm.
reorganizing the boxes and all stuff. Man, I have too many boxes. The problem with
Too
reviewing
many
hi-fi,
products.
it's like too many boxes. Like, I'm trying to clear out my one of my storages that I'm renting right now because the rent prices have gone up in Canada. So even storage price, I'm renting a 10 by 30, which is a pretty big
That's
garage
a
space.
big. That's a big
Yeah,
room.
it's full. It's really full, and
Yep.
that garage has like my JBL things and mostly boxes and stuff like
Hmm.
that. I'm trying to clear it out because like the rent price, it makes no sense. It cost me now when I entered, it was about 250 Canadian a month.
Hmm.
Now it's freaking 540 a month.
Holy
Yeah, yeah, you
my
almost spat that
god,
out.
dude, that's a lot of money for like boxes. When
Yeah, and that's just like to keep boxes around so I can ship products back. It's like
yeah,
that's ridiculous amount of money for that to happen.
yeah. No, it's funny because when I first started looking into this, I actually had a place that I rented from a climate controlled storage place not too far from where I live,
Hmm.
and nice place and all that, but in a space similar to yours would be close to 300 US dollars a month. I got one slightly
Yeah.
smaller, it was 10 by 20, and even that was 225 something dollars a month, and that was with a discount because I used them in the past.
Mm.
I couldn't justify it just to keep cardboard, man. So I said, you know what? Unlike you, I don't have, people living with me. I don't have pets. So I just turned my downstairs basically into the warehouse. And yeah, it's just boxes everywhere, boxes, product. Like it's
Yeah, I mean my
pretty
basement has
disgusting,
all the
actually.
yeah, my basement has all the
Yeah,
products and then all the empty boxes sitting around in the storage. I'm paying
yeah,
like 540 a month. It makes no sense. So
yeah.
I'm trying to reorganize things and squeeze space so that I can get out of it. But realistically, I'm gonna need a storage space regardless, but probably not as big.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah. So we're just for those of you joining, we're just following Hi-Fi News. This is Hi-Fi Pig, in case you guys don't know this website.
So somebody actually had an interesting question I thought I would read. It's
Sure.
not really related to hi-fi news.
Okay.
John H asked, "What are your thoughts on small boutique audio brands? Good? Question mark. Possible bad resale value compared to the big guys like Air Acoustics. What do you?" Oh, excuse me. We
Okay.
deal with a lot of.
After this, I want to talk about the rune thing. But
Okay.
I mean, what's this question like about small brands?
What are your thoughts on small boutique brands versus the bigger
Good,
guys?
possible bad resale value compared to big. I mean, he nailed it. I mean, it's. I'm not sure if this is a question or.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, the downside is that possible bad resale value, highly possible if it's a boutique brand, right? You'll have better chances of reselling Macintosh, Accuface, Esoteric, the bigger names, than if you're to sell Bruno Co. or Auric, which are
Yeah.
more boutique brands. The good is that you're dealing with a more personable kind of experience. So you're not buying from like a corporate in our field, companies like Macintosh and so on. There's more personal aspect to it. You're buying, usually it's like a one man show, right? Or a small team of engineers.
Mm-hmm.
So you're there's more flexibility to it. You might get more personal kind of experience with it in terms of warranty, in terms of feedback, in terms of guidance, and so on. But you also in a way pay for that because of economy of scale, right, to a certain degree.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's just like there's bad and good and mediocre big brands, there is that too with smaller brands. Some boutique
Yeah.
brands are excellent. I would love to buy from them because the guy's down to earth. He's not gouging you, and he's doing everything in his power to get your system sound great and treat it as his own. And then there's some boutique companies that are just doing it for the side money and they don't really give a shit, right? So I mean, there's good, bad, and mediocre like in every kind of sector, and I think boutique companies, there's a lot of good stuff to it. I mean, if you think about it, a lot of bigger brands now they started as a boutique company. What brand didn't start as a boutique company, right?
Sure.
So you may see more nostalgia in that sense, like, oh, if you see real vision with this company, like something that for example, like their ideal sound aligns with your ideal sound a lot. What their belief in, like the purity stuff, or the capacitors they use and the sound tuning they're going for aligns with what you like in audio, for example, that can be a value too.
Yep.
And they may listen to your feedback better, quite frankly. Like if you are a customer and you're like, oh, I want this, they may even customize that just for you. Whereas you go to Macintosh and then say you want,
What's up? You got sidetracked.
I don't know, I'm just trying to,
Okay.
you want this finish, right? You can see it here, it's one of one. They're not gonna sell it to you.
Yeah.
But if this was a boutique brand and they're like, oh, I want a orange ish color, whatever color, and then they might do it for you. In fact, there's a highly likelihood they would do it for you. So there's like I said,
Yeah. Yeah.
there's pros and cons to everything, and I think with boutique brands, there's a lot of pros, but of course there's cons. Depends on the person that you're dealing with
Sure.
and what kind of customer you are. If you're a Karen, some boutique brands don't won't go all that all that far for you.
Some will, some won't. There's greater variance in boutique brands for sure,
Yeah.
as far as your experience both with the product and with the company.
Well, that's an interesting. So someone asked about OMA. Um,
Isn't that a Swedish company?
no, what? It's Oswald Mills. That's an
Oh,
American
okay.
company. It's where you
Okay, yeah,
are.
yeah. The
So it's actually really cool. I mean, I've been following this. Uh, they did this beautiful style. Like, I mean, they have some mad
lots of canonicals there.
mad design. I mean, look at that stuff. Like, if you're a horn lover,
Mm-hmm.
and they pride themselves of making conical horns, I know that.
Yep.
But I mean, look at it. It just, I mean, some people will be looking at this going like, oh, right? But like,
Yeah, I think it's on the level that a Macintosh we just showed. You're gonna love it or you're gonna hate it. There's
I,
probably no in
I
between.
mean, personally, I think you're a psychopath if you don't love this. I'm sorry. It just looks gorgeous. Look at that. Like,
Definitely need to have a unique room to pull it off.
sure. I mean, but look, even their like I was following them a while back. I mean, even their
The
amplifier.
equipment rack looks like something you see at Chipotle.
What did you even look? This? Oh,
No,
okay.
that one, the one with the
The record.
exposed metal.
Okay, I will say they need to work on their website. It's loading way too slowly, but that could be just me too. But like the acoustic treatment makes sense. Like, look, I mean, I have to say it makes sense because like
Yeah,
literally
that's real pretty.
very similar to my wall. But um, yeah, I don't know why it's not showing up here. I've been waiting. Oh, equipment rack. Maybe I have to put press on it. There you go. Because I'm trying to show. There's maybe not this one. I think it's this one.
Mm-hmm.
They make it out of like cast iron. It measures, not measures. Sorry, it weighs like
I was about to say,
crazy, like few
imagine lifting
tons.
that into spot. Good lord.
Well, it's pretty expensive. They probably lift
Yeah.
it in for you at that point, right?
Yeah.
But if they have like this guy is living my dream, like quite literally. This Jonathan,
Mhm.
he's living my dream. He's like, look at this, like
Yeah.
look at it, look
Those are
at
good
it,
stuff.
Sean. Look, it is gorgeous. Again, now I'm just going down that rabbit hole.
I was about to say, keep this up, man. We're gonna have to bring some knee pads out for you.
Jesus, oh God, beautiful, beautiful. Yeah. So I mean, I will say though, I mean, so I know about the brand. Uh, love their aesthetic. Want to hear their actual OMA stuff. Now I know they have like because it's really expensive, right? The OMA stuff is like it's like they were under like the New York Times magazine and stuff, like
Mm-hmm.
design wise, and it just really expensive stuff, like few
Mm-hmm.
$100,000, kind of expensive. But they have a side branch. I can't remember the name. What is the side? Someone help me here. What's the side brand speaker? OMA speaker side brand. I'm trying to Google this. Fleetwood. Fleetwood. See, their SEO is on point. Like, so have you heard about this brand, Fleetwood?
Nope.
So very similar, but like more budget oriented.
Oh, never mind. The DeVille. Okay.
Yeah, Deville. So
Yeah. Okay.
actually, I
Take
was
it back.
now I say budget, but like this is like if you're selling few $100,000 speakers, this is budget.
This is
Okay.
budget for you. Yeah.
Okay, 15,000, whatever in standard finish. How much is it? Yeah, it's more if you're handmade Japanese washi finish, whatever that is. Um, but yeah, this speaker, like I love the design. Like, I don't love the design. I think it's interesting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, when I heard it, I mean, I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't for it.
Yeah.
So
I never
that
heard of
was a
that.
bit disappointing. But I mean, it's gorgeous. I mean, even the wood, like the different kind of
Mm-hmm.
like this one right here, I really like.
Who makes that driver? It looks like an Eminence from a distance.
Uh, I might be. I mean,
Hmm.
this has the highest quality stuff, like internal wiring silver and stuff like this.
Yeah.
Awesome stuff going on. But when I heard it, maybe it was the matching equipment. I heard at a dealer at
You know how I
once.
feel about that. You listen to stuff at dealers or in
Yeah, I
trade.
heard it at a dealer once, and I heard it at a show once. Maybe I have to have it in my room at some point. But yeah, I just didn't feel too hot about it,
Yeah.
which was disappointing because I am such a big fan of the brand. But that was my experience so far. That's not to say it sounds bad. I'm just saying that's the limited experience I have so far.
Yeah.
Maybe I have to get my hands on that one. But yeah, I mean, I feel like, comment if I'm wrong. I feel like that the reason I haven't touched it yet in terms of like reviewing it on my channel is like I feel like it's interesting, but at the same time, it's like 16 grand is like a little bit like too premium for me for that kind of speaker.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, that's how I
Okay.
feel about it in terms of the
I have
aesthetics.
no data point to draw from, so yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
But yeah, so yeah, OMA, very interesting stuff. I do really love their design. I wish one day I'll visit. But another company. Do you know Joseph Crowley?
Crowley?
Joseph Crowley. Yeah,
Crowley. Yeah.
yeah, Joseph.
No.
Here, let me pull it up here.
Okay.
So this is one of the speakers I reviewed. This is actually I didn't review this speaker,
No,
but this is
definitely
the
don't know that one.
Nightingale. This is their flagship speaker.
Okay.
Like I feel like we're talking about like horn speakers.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like these are the more true horn speakers in terms of like the modern day.
Mm-hmm.
Um, like that's the Nightingale. Like this thing is nuts. It's
Is it?
it's crazy.
The prices certainly.
Yeah, it's 75 grand. Yeah, but like it's nuts. This comes with an amplifier as well. But it's nuts.
Yeah.
It's very well designed, not just through concept but actual measurements. Um, Joseph Crowley is a pretty talented engineer,
Hmm.
speaker designer, and you can see like it's using very premium drivers. I forgot what it was, but um, yeah, it's just gorgeous.
Hmm.
But I reviewed personally this speaker right here, which is 15 grand. And I
Okay.
thought this was honestly a steal for 15 grand, to be honest with you. This.
Hmm. I mean, the
This.
craftsmanship looks amazing.
Yeah, it sounds great too.
Yeah.
Initially, I was like worried about this, like this here, and then like this here in terms of like diffraction, right?
I mean, at
But
that
if you,
frequency, diffraction's not nearly as directional.
because this is mostly taking care of the high frequency.
Yeah, yeah,
But aside from them using very high quality drivers, this when you see it in person, it is smooth. Like
yeah,
it is so smooth. It's like this too. They
yeah.
rounded off perfectly to get rid of that diffraction. I measured it. You can see the measurements when I did the review for the speaker. I was really excited to. You can actually kind of see it right here, like how
Yeah.
smooth that is.
I feel like
So
lifting those up the stairs would be a pain in the butt.
yeah, I don't have to lift it up the stairs.
Yeah.
So that's the perk I have.
Yeah,
But like this one's interesting too. I wanted to review this. I probably will.
like a
Um,
ribbon design on the front. Oh, it's the SB Acoustics driver.
yeah. So
It's a good
let's see how
driver.
smooth that waveguide is, and it's
Yeah,
just
yeah,
not a built-in waveguide. It's an actual
yeah.
like CNC'd. Yeah, I gotta go visit this guy as well. I think he's coming to the Toronto Audio Fest, which by the way is happening soon.
Ah, it seems cool.
Yeah, so actually, I will say I'm more. So it's the same kind of show organizer as the Montreal audio
Hmm.
show.
Hmm.
And Toronto has been always kind of like the I usually say it's like the worst of the two, because maybe because the Montreal organizers live in Montreal. I don't know the exact reason. But this year, I think it's actually really interesting. It's actually happening quite soon. I'm gonna go to this
Oh,
show.
that's right.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
gonna go to this show because there's exhibitors here
Yeah.
that I want to really visit, including Joseph Crowley, who is exhibiting here for the first time, from my understanding. So that's very cool. And then there's a bunch of stuff like
Okay.
local artists and stuff like that. The thing I really do like about this show, as I've said before, is that they mix like local artistry,
Hmm.
maybe because it's like a Montreal born show, but a lot of like local artistry with hi-fi. So
Mhm.
you'll see actual musicians. Like if you're a fan of like Ambizon, she'll be there most likely, and Vincent Villanger and my friend, and a few other people
Yeah.
who are very talented actually.
Yeah, I've heard great things about that show and others,
Yeah,
but you know me, man, getting to shows is it's not easy.
yeah.
um, somebody made a good point. Some people spend $74,000 on sculptures, at least this has function. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
actually, yeah. I mean, honestly, if I had like FU money, right, I would get that speaker regardless, like the OMA speakers,
Regardless of
regardless
if
if
it
it
was
sounds
hooked
good
up
or
or not,
bad.
it would just be there.
Yeah, I will like try with every amplifier, until I get it right and sounds decent. But even if it doesn't sound great right off the bat, I mean, why not? It looks like art.
It
It is
does
art.
kind of remind me of a sculpture I'd see, and you're a little bit too young for this, but Beetlejuice, the original one from the '80s. That it seems like what's her name would make something like that.
I'm not too young for this.
but yeah, yep.
So
Switches
Eddie
gears.
Eddie Lamb is asking, what are the next two, three videos in both of your content?
Jay,
Uh,
you're the one
You,
who's producing content.
next two, three. So it's gonna be like the Korean trip that I had. It's a summary. It's also 2 weeks. So like the 2 weeks. So the China trip video that I posted, that was a summary of 8 days. So like 8 days, including when I landed and then slept and then went to Shenzhen the next day from Hong Kong. So that's like realistically 7 days, right? Um, Korea, I stayed for 2 weeks. Japan for 3 weeks. So putting that in summary, I'm trying to, you know, do that video, which is
Mhm.
like a lot of footages. Like I had 5 terabytes of footages from this trip to Asia. So that's gonna be exciting video coming up. Um, and then I have 2 reviews in the pipeline that will be coming up very shortly, as well as few episodes of the One Bit podcast with Sean. And yeah, so like that's more than 2 or 3 videos in the next few while for me.
Cool.
How
Yeah.
about you?
Reviews that need to be done.
That's not.
Including earlier today, people were mentioning Model 7, so that'll be one of them.
Mm,
But you can't really see them, but they are in the background here.
yeah. Cool.
All right. Any cable reviews in the future? I'll be honest, TJ. I'm going to answer that one bluntly. I've been testing cables from Wireworld and Cardis, and I've given thought to it because I'm noticing consistent results with the one very specific Cardis line that they sent me and with the multiple looms of Wireworld. So I don't know, man. I might, because at this point, I don't really care if a lot of people have issues or call it snake oil salesman-y stuff. I think at least some of the products are worth talking about. Specifically, their power cords, actually. Wireworld power cords. Pretty good for the money.
So in summary, he hears difference with cables.
Yeah, yeah. I go on
That's
record as saying that.
that's a summary right there.
Yep.
Um, do you know this company?
Yeah.
Does anyone know this company?
Esprit high-end audio. Are they French?
Yeah, made in
Okay.
France. Made in France.
All right.
This looked interesting to me because as,
Because
aside from seeing like around the corners and like stuff that I like, I
I know I've
usually
seen
like air
AMT.
motion. I know you're like allergic to AMT, but I personally like AMT. So, but that binding post is like very similar to like what I saw with I think the Bacard's new speakers, and then like
Are those
uh,
Duums?
I don't know, but it looks nice.
Camera,
Yeah.
camera, cameras on. Cameras on, Jay.
uh, like now the question is how
Is
much
that
is it?
is that a
But
CS driver?
I don't know. I think
Looks like it.
yeah, I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like good stuff. Okay, cool. Very cool. Like how much is it? Because I feel like the biggest thing that I've seen all year is like whenever I see something nice that I'm like, ah, yes, it makes me moan. It's the price doesn't make me moan. So how much is it? Like,
I don't know. Keep
where's the
scrolling down.
price?
I'm waiting for
Conclusion.
some kind of a
By the way, great review. I read it. It's nice. It's a nice review.
read
So
very
these
quickly.
aren't cheap, but then you get what you pay for.
Womp womp.
Six
Well,
thousand 800 euros.
okay, so that's quite a bit.
Yeah.
All right.
Stuart Smith. I think he's a great writer. I enjoyed the read.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, that's it's not too bad, but at the same time, it's up there. He's right. It's not inexpensive.
Yeah.
um, is this an actual thing now?
How? Okay, I want to. Yeah, I saw that Sprout Hi-Fi.
Oh,
For a second, I thought it was like
I
PSI.
didn't, I didn't, I didn't actually know that. So they're
Yeah.
going full on like new side branch brand instead of like just a product now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Interesting, interesting.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be interesting. All right, so here's a question for you to weigh in on. I'm gonna mispronounce his name, Jorg. Okay, I'm not even. I can't even pronounce the last name. The question is, how good must speakers and or an amp be to be able to hear cable differences?
Oh,
What's-
oh, me.
Yeah, what's your take? I'll let you go,
Uh,
go after.
it's not, it's not so much that this is a complex topic. Okay, so
Hmm.
it's not so much that your amplifier or speaker has to be a certain level in my mind,
Hmm.
from my experience. It's more so, it's like equipment, right?
Hmm.
When you have a amplifier, um, and you've had it for a while, and if you have this experience, let me know because I've had it plenty of times. Like you have an amplifier, it sounds a certain way to you, and it sounds decent, but it doesn't like blow you off the waters. Like it's okay, right? And then you get this certain other speaker, and then you hook it up, and all of a sudden it's like, oh my god, this is a totally different experience. It sounds wonderful, right? This is like very similar to cable as well. Like your cable may not sound any different to you in one system, right? And then in others, it may sound totally, totally, very evidently different. And so I know this is a lot more complicated than it needs to be, but basically it is that complex. Like one example is like, for example, Kef and Hagel, right? Kef speakers, I'm like, okay, I like it. It's not amazing at the time, and then I hooked it up to Hagel at the time, and I was like, holy shit, this is a great match. It
Hmm.
makes the speakers, it almost sounds like everything I didn't like about the Kef speakers, the Hagel fixes,
Hmm.
and it was just like a perfect marriage between the two. So same thing with Hagel and Magnepan. So that kind of synergy is existent, with cables too,
Yeah.
right? So certain cables, it doesn't have to cost a lot. We're not talking about price here, but like I've had times where I've used Belden cables, for example, right? Even simple as Belden cables with certain speakers and certain systems, and it sounded okay. It's okay. It's doing its job. It's fine. But then when I tried it in other systems, especially like for example tube amplifiers, right?
Hmm.
It's actually very very good, synergistically speaking.
Okay.
So it's not so much about like what level does your amplifier have to be, what price, how much, how high end before you can hear all the differences with every cable. There's no single system that in my mind or I've experienced that can show you all the differences with every cable out there.
Yeah.
System
So
dependent like everything else.
my answer is basically a mirror of yours. I don't think you have to have an expensive system to hear a difference with cables. In fact, one of the biggest differences I've ever heard with cables was when my family and friends were around, and this is back when my parents had an old Sansui receiver and some Bose Acoustimass speakers. Guys, we're not talking about resolving speakers. And I switched the basic cables they had in the back for some cheap RCA gold cables, and it made a significant difference to the point to where everyone stopped talking and they were like, "What the hell did you do? It sounds so much better." And all I did was change a pair of interconnects. I took apart actually the interconnects I took out just to see if they weren't oxidized or there was a loose connection or something, because it's like, what the hell? Maybe the cables were broken. They were fine. It was just that big of a difference between, cheap nickel plated, connector and really thin copper with something that was better. And then there were times when I've done A/B comparisons on super high end systems that cost as much as a car. And I'll be honest, sometimes the differences weren't very pronounced at all. There's a lot of variables that also go into it. There's the science, especially on speaker cable side. What's the inductance like? That's going to be huge as it relates to the relationship between your amplifier and your speakers, to the point to where some cables can actually shut down your amplifiers and send it into oscillation if it doesn't have good enough circuit protection. So there can definitely be differences at times, but I would say, I think he said he had the Audiolab 6000 Wharfdale Dentons. That's good enough. At the end of the day, they're easy to try out. Most companies offer a 30-day, 60-day return period. Even if you have to pay for shipping, it's going to cost you $10. I wouldn't take what anybody has to say on the internet all too seriously. I would just use your own experience in your own ears and, make up your own judgment on it. So
I agree.
Anyways, let's see. I'll let you. This is your channel, so I'm almost instinctively wanting to go to the comments here. So I will leave you to do that.
Let's do the comments. There's some interesting ones right here. So
Okay.
Accuface or Luxman, once, twice, three. Shoot!
What the fuck does once, twice, three mean?
Oh my god.
Is this supposed to be 1, 2, 3, go?
Yeah.
Okay.
Again. Accuface or Luxman, one, twice, three. Shoot!
Accuphase,
Yeah. Okay.
most likely.
Yeah. Me too.
Yeah. Actually, Luxman's latest circuit, to be fair, is really freaking good.
Yeah.
I will say dollar for dollar easily competes with Accuphase.
Yeah.
I could even see many people preferring the more open and cleaner, but still warm and full Luxman sound, quite frankly.
Like I really enjoy their tube units, but I know that they went more solid state now. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean it's like I do have love for Luxman, but I just like Accuface right now, personally
Yeah.
speaking. I'm in that little Accuface, just like much like Sean. It's like, especially after visiting their facility in Japan, how can you not? I am biased. Unfortunately, I was not able to visit Luxman's facility this time around.
That very questionable fish. How could you not?
Yeah. So I mean, it's not. Who knows? But I really do think that personally for me, my choice would be Accuface.
Yeah, I
Personally
would
for
be
me.
there too, but Luxman's a very close second.
Oh yeah.
Very close. And depending on the SKU, I could easily go. In fact, I'll even go so far as say is this: it depends on the speaker, because with Clips, Clips Cornwalls, or any Clips Heritage, it's Luxman. The synergy between those are insane. Like,
Yeah.
that's a system I could settle down with.
Yeah.
So it depends.
Yeah. Luxman with some speakers are stupid good.
Yeah.
Stupid good.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So just with anything, synergy.
Monster Rep told me there was a 90% markup on their cables. That used to be true. I don't know about now, but dealer margin was 70 points on Monster cables back in the day.
Isn't that like most cables?
No, it's actually changed quite a bit. A lot of cable margins, like let's just say Jay is to open up a store. Jay is wanting to carry lunch bucket audio cables. Instead of getting your guaranteed 60, 70 points like it used to be, now it's more like 50.
Cool.
Yeah. So it's not quite as high as it used to be. The cable market's changed, man. I mean, 15, 20 years ago, cable market was huge. You could make tons of money. I won't mention the brand, but there was one brand where if you were just a manager at the brand, like a territory manager, you're making 250 grand a year at a hi-fi company. That's insane, right? As you and I know, most people in the audio business, unless you become extremely successful, you don't get that. So there was a time, but a lot of people found out a lot of cables are in fact bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
And then cable companies have really done a horrible job of producing science and evidence based, data on why their stuff does what they claim it can do.
Yep.
So the combination of all of that really killed the cable market. So these guys they don't sell what they used to. And because of that, they can't afford to just give their stuff away anymore. Like they have to make profit off the sale.
Interesting.
Yeah.
How has a dedicated listening room or space?
What?
I don't know.
Okay.
Jesus Christ. Here's your zero fidelity.
Oh, hi. Hi, Matthew.
Um,
Well, Eddie has a okay. Sean, are you still rocking Heed's integrated amp to desktop rig? Um, Recently did some coverage on it. So I'm not rocking the Heed anymore. In fact, I had to send that back years ago, many years ago. But no, the Heed Elixir is still in my heart, man. That is the very anti-audiophile piece. So if you're somebody who, you're used to being around components that do all the audiophile fireworks, it's not for you. But if you're more that music file, you just want to sit down and enjoy music while having some of the things that audiophiles like. Yeah, it's a great piece and formed a great synergy with Harbeth. Still miss it. Glad to see that Heat is still around and still making it. There's been times I have literally every year I go through this one time of the year to where I think about buying it again because I bought it 2 times already. So it's a nice piece. It's a very nice piece.
Another question by Eddie.
Okay, read it, Jay. Your
It
channel.
feels like the economy is slowing and struggling. Do you guys feel any trickle down effect on your work?
Jay, I'll let you go. Yeah.
Oops. Um not really. Not
Same.
not so here's my reasoning for it, right? I think when when the companies are doing well and they're like, okay, we need to like get reviews out there and stuff, they come to us, right? The reviewers, YouTubers, whatever you want to call it. And when things are not doing well, you would think they'll be like, oh, and I'm sure there's companies like they pull back and they're like, oh, we gotta save our marketing budget. Like we can't have units out there because we can't make the units, whatever, right? Like they're like, oh, the economy is slowing down. There's no point in doing the review now. Many different reasons as to why not do the review when the economy is slowing down. But the opposite may be true. They may be a bit, for the lack of better words, desperate for sales, right? So they will just like be like, okay, well, if there's a review out there that can get them, buy, right, this quarter, then they may see that as a benefit. So both times, I would say, even when the economy is slowing down, I have a lot of requests of brands that I've never heard of.
I would say when it slows down,
review.
it gets more rampant. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's my theory, but I don't know the exact reasoning why. But
Well, I mean, it's very simple. You have people whose jobs it is to build and grow a brand.
yeah,
And when sales are slowing down, the whip starts cracking on their back. Like, hey, why aren't we making more money? And some owners of these companies are somewhat oblivious to what happens around them, like in the world and even local marketing. Jay, where did you go? Jay? Anybody else see that Jay just kind of up and disappeared on his own live stream? Or am I just going
yeah, I'm
crazy?
here.
You motherfucker.
I just wanted to see what happens if I click
Okay.
that button.
Okay.
Now
Okay.
I know. Don't worry about me. I'll be back and forth. Don't worry about me. Just making the screen fuller for you.
Just gonna beat your ass, man. Anyways, see, I lost my train of thought in a mold. But anyways, yeah, something stuff. Oh yeah, somebody has a job, and basically, long story short, these guys are being pressured to get reviews, to do something, to get eyes on the product, to hopefully generate sales. And the worse the sales are, the more these guys are pressured to reach out to people like us.
Mm-hmm. Cool.
Yep. Jay sings like an angel. Have you sung for people before?
No.
Okay, because somebody was asking, they're asking both of us, do any
Mhm.
of you sing or play?
Play what?
I think an instrument.
Yeah.
What it means. Okay.
Saxophone, guitar. Used to wow all the ladies.
Mm-hmm. Piano, come on.
No. Unfortunately,
Piano, violin, we got to check off
man, you
the
can't do
Asian
that kind of
checklist, dude. Come
stereotype
on.
stuff on live, man. Like, Jesus. Um, Ironically enough,
Mm-hmm.
I've gotten a recent request of like the mid-roll sponsorship, right? And it
Mm-hmm.
was a piano brand, and
Yeah.
they were like, "Here, we'll give you a piano. Please make an ad for us." And I was like, "I don't play piano though."
I
Like,
used to play quite a bit, but that was a long time ago.
piano?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't I I know a few people in the industry that's not even pianists that play amazing piano, but
Yeah.
yeah, I don't play guitar as much. I used to play and drums, saxophone, um, but 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 my singing is not something you want to hear.
So when you played, was there any style that you played, like anything that you preferred?
Style
Yeah, like
like
any
jazz.
of music. Yeah.
Yeah, well, saxophone was jazz,
Okay.
jazz and covers mostly in
Doing
school bands.
Jay doing Stan Getz as like a 16-year-old.
And drum was like church when I used to go
Okay.
to church, and
Okay.
uh, yeah, I did more with drums, I would say, like,
Mm-hmm.
um, but yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, I was never like a full-on musician, or that's not my goal. It was more like a side hobby,
Yeah.
has no relation to like what I do in hi-fi. Some people may be like, oh, see, he used to play instruments, but like I was not even not even there.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah. Yeah.
I wasn't like the best, I would say. I would say that much.
No, same here. I had a knack for being able to make stuff up. One of the things that was really fun is getting with some other talented musicians, and
Mm.
I would start playing, but they would compliment me. And sometimes we'd come up with stuff like, "Bro, we need to be recording this." Not that it would ever amount to anything, but that was a lot of fun. But if you asked me to sit down and play like, I don't know, like a jazz pianist piece or even a classical piece, bro, it's gonna be horrible. So,
Mm. Question. By the way, I saw him on the last podcast as well,
mhm.
the
Yeah,
Bass
yeah.
Blast. So thank you for being here again. NAD stuff is everywhere in the classified. Why? Any good? Sean, any idea?
I haven't listened to NAD stuff in forever. I mean, my knee jerk reaction is they sell a lot. So just economy, just straight up economy scale. They're just going to have, or that's not the right phraseology, but saturation is what it is. So there's just a lot of people who own it. I think they're at a price point to where some people will upgrade beyond, NAD. And that's just kind of where we're at.
I, I'm gonna say it.
Mm-hmm.
At least in Canada. I don't know about the US market, okay? But in Canada, NAD gets gray marketed by people that sell it,
Mm-hmm.
by employees of the dealership.
Yeah.
They buy it at a discounted price under their own like whatever, like, employee discount, and they flip it.
Mm.
So if anyone from NAD is watching this, have a look into that. It's been going on for ages now.
Mm.
So maybe that's why. So at least in Canada.
I mean, it would have to be almost unregulated, though, in order for it to have any amount of quantity. Like, hey, as long as you're an employee of this retailer, you can buy as many SKUs as you want, no limitations. Most companies have pretty
Yeah,
hard
I
limitations.
know the retailer myself,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
like it's not the greatest look, but that's what they do. So they're cool with it. The managers are cool with it. So the retailer is cool with it, as far as I understand it. But
yeah.
is NAD cool with it? Do they know, right?
Mm,
And is the classified ads, seeing so many classified ads, is that a reason? Because in
mm,
Canada, it's like a well-known fact amongst consumers now, and younger audiophiles like my friends, It's like why buy an AD at full price at dealerships when you
Yeah.
can buy it from the flippers? It's like a PC card at this point, right? Like a graphics card. So that's
Yeah.
been happening. I'll just come and say it because
Okay.
like
Well, that's something I actually didn't know. So
so that may be a reason why, but I'm not sure if you're talking about Canadian market or not. But that's
yeah.
yeah, in Canada too. A lot of classified ads.
Okay.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah. Uh, Also, Verity Audio was huge in Canada. Seemed great. What happened? So actually, are you familiar with that brand, Verity Audio?
Verity, I thought they are gone now, aren't they?
Yeah, I think he's talking about
I think the
the
owner passed away,
past.
didn't he? Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what happened.
Yeah.
But yeah, I honestly have no experience with the brand. Here's a question: have you ever
Hmm.
heard of the LRS or the Plus, Sean?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's priced at 1,300 now,
Okay.
apparently. What do you think? Is it a good speaker even at that price
Yeah.
point?
Yeah. I
Yeah,
mean, I think the LRS, I haven't heard the Plus, to be
yeah.
fair. I only heard the LRS. The LRS is kind of a wonky speaker in the sense that it's an affordable, used to be a super affordable speaker that, if I remember correctly, was designed and made in the US. And you needed to treat it like a proper high-end speaker, like give it power, take it far away from a wall boundary. But if you could do that for the mid-range and treble you got for the money,
Hmm.
was sick. I think it's less of a oh my god value now, but still a very solid speaker, even at 1,300 a pair,
Yeah. And I
especially
would
compared to the prices of everything else now.
yeah, I mean, I would
Yeah.
say also like they're like like one of the panel speaker
Hmm.
brands. Like full on panel speaker that
Hmm.
is actually approachable in price.
Yeah.
So like I see a lot of other panel brands out there like Diptyque. Like I can never pronounce that brand name, but Diptyque. But they're
Hmm.
expensive
Yeah.
and they sound great, but they're expensive. Um, around that price point, I think it's a good entry and a taste to like the panel speakers. And
Hmm.
1,300, I think it was about time because the price they priced it stupidly low.
Crazy
The
low.
story
Longest.
with Magnapan LRS is that they initially priced it super low, where they were losing money
Mm.
because they wanted to get these speakers into, and it's not like oh they were doing it for charity. No, I'm not saying
Hmm.
that, but they were doing it for their marketing. That's what
Yeah.
they were using it towards. It's like the lost leader.
Literal loss leader. Yeah.
Yeah, so to get more people, involved in that brand and stuff like that. So I think it
Yeah.
was a great move on their part, to be honest.
Hmm.
But yeah, it was about time they needed to increase the price because it sold way more than they thought it would ever sell.
Yeah.
I remember like when the first LRS came out and I was in the store, we were literally like we had an Excel sheet with back orders,
Yeah.
like
I mean, the
20,
MMG
30.
was already popular as
Yeah,
hell.
like
So,
20, 30.
yeah.
We sold 100. Like during my time at the store, we sold hundreds
Hmm.
of pairs,
Yeah.
nearly 1,000.
Yep.
So like that was just in Canada. So
Yep.
I can only imagine. Yeah. Yeah. So here you go. Any album recommendations?
Hmm.
Like current albums you guys are listening to?
I'll let you go, man. I just bought an album, but it's not current.
Okay. So, man, I wonder if I can find this. Jeez. Okay. So there's one I can't. It's upstairs, but I would say. So I bought some here. I'm gonna just grab the nearest thing I can because I can't really grab back there. But I bought some Japanese pressings. My
Like Carol
head.
King. There we go.
Yeah. When I was in the record tower in Shibuya in Japan, and so it was great. I bought way more than I really should have. Things are not cheap at the record tower because they know the pricing is and stuff like that. But I bought some Japanese pressings because I'm in Japan. They have like pressings from all over the world. But I'm like, if I'm in Japan, I should buy, Japanese pressings because that's what I'm here for. So I bought some like Ghibli Studio stuff. Sounds fantastic. That's like the first thing that I tried. Sounds wonderful.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of the Ghibli studio stuff is what I'm rocking right now. Especially the wolf princess one. I forget the actual name of the animation. But I'm a huge fan of Ghibli Studios, despite me forgetful ass. Um, so yeah, that's what I'm rocking right now. But there's like this one album that's really good that it's like a I can't remember it. I'm gonna actually make a video on that or share it in my next live stream because that is just so wonderful sounding. But I can't remember. I bought it when I was in Montreal. I can't even remember the actual like name of the tracks and stuff. But I'll share it later. But yeah, it's kind of what I'm rocking right now.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I can't even remember the name of the group right
Yeah.
now.
What is up with the Vincent Belanger recording? So Sanj. So for those that have signed up on the Kickstarter for the Sanj album, you should have received the files, the digital files. So if you haven't, then message him. But if you bought the digital files, then you should have received the digital files by now. And the CD should be available by end of year, and then the LP should be another few months probably. Yeah, the analog portion. Yeah, so that's what's going on. So behind the scenes, what is essentially happening is that finding the right mastering engineer, like finding the right people to, because we recorded the thing on tape, right? So there's very few people that can edit the tapes now. A lot of studios, they flat out, if you call any studio and ask them, even in Montreal and elsewhere, if they do editing on tape, they'll be like, we don't even have the machines for that anymore. So a lot of it is just digital. So finding the right person to do it, where we're gonna cut the lacquer. There's many steps involved, right? And then getting the copyright and distribution all figured out and stuff like that on their part. So yeah, Vincent has been working hard, but you have to understand this is like his first project on his first organization, so it's taking some time, and yeah, and also like the demo. I heard the last final prototype, so to speak, the last final mastering in Korea because he brought it to Korea for me to listen to it. So he's very dedicated. So I heard it there, sounded fantastic. So, so I said, I think we're good to go. And so that was released. That's the digital files. We received actually a lot of feedback on the project. Like a lot of people are very happy about the digital file. Like they think it sounds fantastic. I should actually send that to you too, Sean.
I think you already did. I
That
don't know if
was
you did the final version.
that was not the final version. That was
No.
the like the raw recording,
Yeah.
without any even mixing. Sanj project. Sanj. Yeah, so it's for those of you that don't know what the heck I'm talking about, this is what we are talking about. So this is the Sanj project. There's multiple things. Here's my face. I don't know, like artistic producer, some bullshit title. That's really water boy. That's what I am. But here's the thing. So if you signed up for like the digital here, then you should have received it. There's many different packages, yada yada da. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the story with that.
Oh, cool. So Dave has an interesting question.
Mm-hmm.
Dave Apex. Has anyone done a review of the new Onkyo Icon electronics? It's funny. We actually, I think, looked at that the other day.
Mm-hmm.
There seems to be a lot of hype from the distributor, but no reviews that I can find. What say you?
Onkyo, I'm gonna be honest. I have
Yeah,
no
so
feelings for
Onkyo,
Onkyo.
yeah, I'm aware of this. I mean, it's caught my attention for sure. I mean, obviously, I'm not really in a position to bring in any more gear for evaluation, but nonetheless, yeah, I'm very curious. Onkyo has a place in my heart from way back when I got into audio, so it'd be interesting to know how much effort they really put into the new line. Seems relatively affordable-ish. So,
Mm-hmm.
but that was the one that, remember, we were looking at the amplifier and it looks like they basically copied Luxman.
Oh, is that what this is?
Yeah. They basically looked at Luxman and like, yeah, we want to do that, but like significantly less money.
Huh. Huh.
Yeah.
Huh. Huh.
I don't know what to think about the aesthetic. Like pictures wise, I'm gonna be honest. It kind of looks like a Chinese piece, to be honest.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? Like something you could get on China Hi-Fi.
Jesus. Are they made in Japan still? Let me look it up
I
here.
don't know, but the aesthetic is like
Let
I
me.
like the minimalism, but it just kind of
Where? What is this?
communicates
What?
that.
Okay, so if I do this, what happens?
Probably just. Uh
Oh, it shows me a dealer.
oh.
Okay.
Okay. Somebody's cookies. Oh.
Where is Onkyo made? There you go. Osaka. Osaka.
Okay.
I was in Osaka.
History dates back to it, but are they still made there? Oh well.
Well, who knows? Oh no, it's manufactured. It says in Shanghai. R&D facility in Japan,
Okay.
but the products are made in China. I think that's correct. I'm not sure.
Mm.
According to the interwebs. That's interesting.
Yeah. I mean, I'm curious to see just what it sounds like. There is somebody who has a question for you. High
Mm.
res audio
Mm-hmm.
Costa, something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
There you go. You see it.
Was there a specific listening experience that totally changed your audiophile perspective? I know with you, Jay, it was when Philip gave you the Wilson Sabrina experience. Any experiences since? Many. That was the start.
Mm.
So like when I first like got the experience with Philip, so essentially I was a headphone guy. I was in university, didn't have any space, so I had like studio monitors and headphones. So when I walked in, they played the Sabrinas for me at the store before I started working there, and it was a trap because that's what made me start working there. Because I was like, oh my god, I gotta experience this more. I want to learn more about it, and that
Mhm.
was what led down the rabbit hole. But ever since then, yeah, I've had plenty of experiences. First of all, I could never own the Sabrinas. I wanted to own it so bad, but at the time, it was like not reachable, right?
Mhm.
It's like I was like, okay, well, I have other stuff that I need to pay for, like my car, my education, my ramen. I mean, there's so many things I have to pay for. So there's no
Yeah.
way I can afford and drop 20 grand. I didn't have nearly even 2 grand in my bank account at the time as a
Mhm.
student. So that's not even possible. So I knew that, no matter how much saving I did, that was like really far. And but I was still saving up for it a little bit by little. But after realizing that you need like quadrillion-dollar of equipment behind it, after that, it's like, okay, great, that's fantastic. Like the speakers to start, right?
Mhm.
So I kind of gave up on that in the beginning, and I was like, okay, well, I want to buy something that I can enjoy now because I really, really wanted a stereo for myself at the time, like right now. Um, so I went ahead and bought a Denon amplifier for like 200 bucks, 400 bucks Canadian at the time. Still a lot of money for me at the time.
Mhm.
And got a pair of Magnepan speakers. Biggest mistake of my life. Um, the amplifier struggled. The speaker was clipping. I couldn't rock out at higher volumes. I was like upset. I was like, man, this sucks. Like
Mhm.
it really sucks and frustrating when you think something's gonna work and it doesn't. So and my ass at the time, I didn't know like, oh, is the speaker needing more power? No, that didn't come to my mind because I was a whole ass newbie. So I was like, there's something wrong with the amplifier. So I contacted the seller. I was one of those guys. I contacted sellers. I think something went wrong with the amplifier. It's like there's nothing wrong with the amplifier. I'm like, oh, this is making noise and clipping sounds. And he was like rolling his eyes, and he was like, a tech. I bought it from a tech, thankfully.
Mhm.
And he kindly, he's a great friend now, um, looked into it for me, and explained to me there's nothing wrong with the amplifier. Just try it with a different speaker. I tried it with a different speaker that he had, no issue whatsoever. So I come back home, plug it back into the Magnepans, and of course, like any respectable volume, and it starts chugging the hell out of it. So I got a pair of Meitner STR, you know, gorgeous amplifier, and then the rest is history. I mean, there were so many steps that taught me through mistakes and through success as well. When, for example, with that Magnepan and STR matchup right there when things finally was powered properly, what that sounded like when the sound stage first opened up, when I plugged in my first tube amplifier. I mean, there's so many aha moments, you know what I'm saying? There's so many of those epiphany moments. So that was the start. The Sabrina was like, yeah, that's the start. And it set the bar pretty high, I'm not gonna lie. But it allowed me to appreciate and enjoy the different types of sound in the vintage, kind of used market, and I was able to buy and sell and listen and experience multiple different stuff. And there's a lot of lessons learned from that. Too much to go over in one video. But yeah, there's a lot of those moments, even now, to be honest. How about you, Sean?
I think it was directed more towards you.
No, I just don't want to answer.
Yeah. No, I mean, the truth of the matter is, if I were to take the question literally, there's been no audiophile experience that totally changed my perspective as an audiophile. Like, not a single one. Most things go exactly as you'd expect them to. I think the things that have been formative for me, though, have been the times when you think when you predict something and you end up being completely wrong about it. That has instilled in me that no matter how much you know, no matter how much you learn, I don't care if you've been doing this for 10 years, 20 years, 30 years. Sometimes you just have to experience something for yourself under, ideal conditions in order to form your own judgments. That's probably been the biggest takeaway. Other than that, yeah. Everything else is what I would expect it to be.
With Japanese amps, why is it we see Accuphase, Luxman, and Yamaha being reviewed by content creators and almost none from Sono or Esoteric? Is it because they don't ship demo units? Good question. You have an answer for that?
Yeah, I mean, it depends on where the reviewers live and if the distributors are motivated to get reviews or not. And maybe they'll be selective about who reviews it. But for the most part, that's what the easy answer is. If you see something that you feel is underrepresented in the review space, usually it's not because reviewers themselves aren't interested in it. It's more times than not, the companies just don't want reviews for whatever reason. Or they're going to be very, very selective about who covers their product.
Yeah. Yeah. Simple as that.
Yep.
I think that's a pretty precise answer. What is the best preamp for 5K? Wonderful question. We love those questions.
Dude, I just like the guy's username.
Yeah.
Bring it up again.
He's
or
the
avatar. There we go.
Oh,
I like how it's over your.
Oh my god! I didn't even see that. Anyways.
Very appropriate positioning. Matches your microphone.
Best preamp, Sean.
Okay, no, I don't have one for you.
For
There's
5K.
well, you know me. There's no such thing as best, period, unless you're a staunch objectivist and measurements rule your judgment. But other than that, no.
Topping pre-90.
Oh my! Get out of here.
Don't even need 5K. Measures perfect. Jay, are you still working on the transmission speakers? Yes. That's the short answer. Yes. So I can really say for now, but it'll be more will be revealed soon.
More will be revealed in good time.
And like when I soon, I mean like soon.
I think I know the answer. I think I know the answer for this one, but Navin asked a good question. Do you guys still enjoy listening to music for hours and hours or no time now? Also, what's in your main rig? It's just above Maurice, the guy with
I see it. Yeah. Yeah. Also, what's your main rig? Do you guys still enjoy just listening to music for hours and hours or no time now? So I still listen to it for like my system for hours and hours, and like I work on my system for hours and hours. So I mean, you have to understand this is the only thing I like. So fortunately, fortunately for me, I really do enjoy it. So
yeah,
I still do, and I enjoy every bit of it except the part where I'm managing cables and reconfiguring systems. Oh god, But yeah, my main rig right now consists of right now what I'm listening to, and I say main rig. I say that with very like, like it's not a thing,
It's
but
in
like
constant rotation. Yeah.
yeah, but I have my main stuff, but like the AGD Audien monoblocks, as you guys know, the monoacoustic Platimon and the VC1, VC2 module. Like if you go back my few videos, I made like a system tour video, and so that's
Mhm.
like basically what I consider as my main rig. Like now things that change around all the time. Like right now, I have the live harmony monoblocks, hooked up because I'm reviewing that and I'm enjoying it.
Mhm.
I have the KEF R3 speakers there, not the monoacoustic. But I have my RX preamplifier, the two preamplifier there,
What color are
and
those R3s again?
uh, piano freaking black,
Not indigo. Not indigo.
yeah, they've been
Bro,
nice.
they're so pretty in indigo too. Like every time I walk by them, I'm
They
like,
said
God, man, they knocked them out the
I
park.
said anything but piano black, and they still sent me piano black. Like, please
All they
explain.
heard was piano black. Yeah.
Like, but the sound I like, especially with the live, is good synergy right now. So I'm enjoying the system. Yeah, I mean, there's main as far as my main rig goes, it's listed on like almost every video. If you click on the link that says like my system or whatever, there's a list of stuff that I'm rocking my system. So that's kind of what I consider main, but I mean things change here all the time. So
Yeah.
yeah. How about you, Sean? What is your main rig?
Same
Or
with you.
what is
There is no maid rig. I mean,
Yeah.
literally, I couldn't answer that question. There is no maid rig.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I just bought the Bacard S400 Mark II. It's supposed arrived in November. What amplifier do you think is the best match right now? I'd be willing to spend up to $3,000, either new or used. What do you think, Sean?
With the S1, I mean, I don't know what this person's use case is, how
Mm.
loud they listen, what features they need, how much power they need, what's their
I
taste.
think they're looking for a amplifier, like solo amplifier.
Like
But
just an amplifier, not an integrated amplifier.
you
Like,
said amplifier.
yeah, well, and my point is, I can't answer this because I just there's too much information I don't know. And then on top of that, if the
Yeah.
person hasn't heard the S400 Mark IIs first, he has no idea what he likes and dislikes
Oh
about them.
yeah.
So how are he's just gonna be buying blind at that point and going on to faith that
There you go. I mean, you just said buy blind in the one bit podcast I'm about to put up. You literally say, sometimes you gotta buy blind.
yeah, but I also said become familiar with the damn product first and then build around it. So if you listen to it, it's too warm, you can buy an amplifier that can, control the woofer better.
But how can he listen to it when he doesn't have an amplifier, Sean?
Does he not have an amp? Did he buy a speaker without having an amp?
I guess he's
Another
looking
piece
for
of
an amp.
information we don't have, Jay.
Here, if you're looking for a suggestion, like not saying buy blind, but if you're looking for a good synergy from my experience that you want to investigate on your own, then I would look at Denafrips Thallow. Okay, because I had great success with that match, but it's gonna be contingent on your preamplifier and all that kind of stuff. I had the matching preamplifier as well, which was great, but again, do your own research.
And if it's an integrated amplifier, as long as you don't need tons of features, but you still want features, believe it or not, the Hagel H120
Yeah,
is really good with it because it's warm, but at the same time, the treble's spicy. And that kind of gives the S400 a little bit of life.
yeah. Okay. Any experience with the Master Sound A45 integrated amp? Can it be used as just an amplifier, and is it worth it? I want to use my Yamaha C500 pre and the Master Sound A45 as an amp.
Okay.
I mean, I have experience with the Master Sound A45. I'm not sure if it can be used as an is Master
I only
Sound
heard the box.
H45 integrated. I'm doing this live right now.
Okay, so here's the thing. While Jay is doing his own research here, do you have the Master Sound or do you not have the Master Sound? If you don't have it, their products can sound really good, but the problem is the reliability is really, really, really low. So if you do buy it, then my advice would be you need to know a tech, because there's a good chance you'll be having to take it to a tech at some point. And I mean some point in the near future.
I hate their labeling. As far as I can tell, you cannot use it as just a solo amplifier. But I may be
Mhm.
totally wrong because they labeled it uh, really poorly.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, I, I'll say this: I don't think you should buy an integrated amplifier to be used as an amplifier, unless
Yeah.
unless you are 100% sure your Yamaha is a better match
Hmm.
than if the integrated amplifier was to be used without the preamp section.
Okay.
But I don't think it is. I will just say that.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. What other questions do you see here?
Hold on. I just scrolled and missed something. Let me go down for the.
Yeah, they're thirsty. They're thirsty boys.
Yeah,
Magnet
no, they
panel
like.
RS. That actually happened to me too. I had the Mac 7200.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what's weird though? A lot of people had a lot of luck running IOTA VX, the stack, with
hmm
Magnapans.
It's not about the power rating, right? Like
Yeah.
even Hagel, it's not like, quadrillion watts. I literally had a customer at one point running it with like 1,000 watt per side, so 2,000 watts,
Hmm.
monoblock, bridged to Bryston, running the magnet pans, and it
Yeah.
was powering it, but it still sounded like it wasn't opening up, and it wasn't sounding like it was driving it.
Sure. Sure. Um. So Carlos Gomez has an interesting question. What do you think of vertical biamping if you have two of the same amps? Worth doing?
Vertical biamping, um, if you have the same, depends on the amplifier. I think it's best if you ask the designer or the company that made the amplifier. The reason I see that is because usually when you vertically biamp, he's you asking about bridging.
I think that's how I interpreted it. As bridge.
Because if that's the case, then usually it lowers damping factor,
Mm-hmm.
um, which can be better for a certain system and which may not be for a certain. So it's like the same thing as going like monoblock
Mm-hmm.
or one amplifier. There's actually a benefit of having just one stereo amplifier rather than having monoblocks. And you have to outweigh those benefits. Like for example, having monoblocks, you will have better channel separation, lower distortion, this and that. But at the same time, stereo amplifiers will naturally have better damping factor depending on the circuitry and so on. So it's best if you ask the amplifier manufacturer if that's worth doing and if it was actually made for bridging. If it's not made for bridging, then it probably shouldn't be done DIY.
Hmm. Okay, I don't have anything to add to that. Prima Luna or Audio Research?
Honestly, for me right now, none.
Yeah, I would actually have that answer because Audio Research is kind of in a weird place right now. In my experience with Prima Luna, the build quality is exceptional, but
hmm
the sound, I've not gotten along with a lot of their products, to be honest. But to be fair, I've also not tube rolled with any other products. I've only listened to it with the stock tubes that they ship with.
Yeah, I've tube
So,
rolled with Prima Luna. I've had Prima Luna.
mhm.
Um, I've had a lot of clients that had Prima Luna that still has Prima Luna. I never
Yeah,
liked it because of the same reason that I keep coming back to, which, when I'm buying a tube amplifier, I want it to sound like a tube amplifier. Prima
yeah,
Luna to me doesn't sound like a tube amplifier. It sounds like an excellent solid state, quite
yeah.
frankly.
Yeah, that's
So
kind of the issue I've had too. Is when I buy tubes, I want tubes. If I want
yeah,
solid state, I just go with something cheaper, quite
yeah. So
frankly.
if you like the aesthetics of tubes or have like the idea of having tubes, but you like a solid state sound, I think Prima Luna is a great choice.
Hmm.
Audio research is in a weird place right now, like Sean said. I think it's a great brand. It's very much respected name.
I
I
need to
just
hear
think
their latest
it's
stuff.
yeah, exactly. That's where it
Yeah,
is. It's like I don't think there's enough reviews out there yet, and there's
yeah,
not enough data to for us to say like like yes or no.
Mm-hmm.
So for now, both are like
Yeah.
yeah. Thanks, Eddie. I
Yep.
love New Zealand. I buy so much stuff from New Zealand.
New Zealand has some great hi-fi. I mean, one of my favorite integrated amps, Perot. Yeah, Kiwi company, man. I love the
Not
200 amps.
necessarily hi-fi even. I buy a lot of
Yeah,
stuff from New Zealand, like protein shakes.
you would. You bougie.
Like like
Motherfucker.
amazing, man.
Yeah.
That's just like it tastes
Okay.
good. It's like really healthy.
Okay.
Anyways.
We should talk about that out of stream. All
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right.
Do you use speaker amp switcher when testing? No.
Hell no.
Nope.
Hell no. That's a horrible way to test anything.
Do you want to elaborate on that?
There's no such thing as a. All of those devices are lossy. You're losing quite a bit when you go through a switching device. It
Yeah, and
imparts.
I will also say you're adding. You're adding.
You're absolutely adding.
Yeah.
So.
Because every unit, so the saying of like less is more, where
Yeah.
that comes from in the engineering aspect is that every time you have a box, okay, so let's say you added a preamplifier, right? Every time in theory when you have an extra box, that box has its own inherent distortion,
Mm-hmm.
right? There's a certain noise floor. Nothing is completely zero, nothing has no distortion. It's not possible. Everything has a certain amount of distortion.
Even if it's a passive device,
Yeah,
you
absolutely.
still have different artifacts that can be added.
Right, you're adding resistance, you're adding
Yep.
inductance, you're
Yep.
what have you. So,
Mm-hmm.
in theory, if you want the most pure sound, and that's where the extreme side of the purist comes from, it's like the less is more. But I also, I think a good balance, right? And every time there's too much to the extreme is not good. So
Mm-hmm.
too simple is not good. We can argue the simplest thing is like, oh, earbud, like, done, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, but that's not the case. So I think somewhere in the middle is a good balance. My rule of thumb is like I don't try to add anything to my system unless I try it and then it sounds better to me.
Mm-hmm.
Simple as that, right? So if someone's like recommending you a buffer or whatever, I recently, not that recent, but I reviewed a two buffer from Modrite, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I tried it, sounded good to me in my system. And some people commented, "Oh, isn't adding so much, another box of, that's not necessary, adding, stuff that you don't want." And it's like, well, if it sounds good to me, then, it's all good.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not always like that. Usually buffers and I don't get along.
Yeah.
So that one was just a special one, but it was also very pricey.
Yep.
So, yeah. Here's a good question right there. Thanks, Dan.
Damn. How's it going, Dan? Sean, when and what is your next review? So, the next review, I don't mind saying this, is the Sound Artist LS59. I think it's a really good. Jay, why did you drop out? I think it's a very good speaker for the money. Not going to be to everybody's taste, but I think in the day and age when everything's just getting more and more expensive, it's nice to have an option like it for under $1,000. So, that one I'm excited to review. So, that's going to be the next one, which fingers crossed, maybe this week. Maybe.
Cool.
Yeah.
Buy an orange Mac.
I support that. Buy an orange. Go orange.
They don't even sell it. It's a concept. I think an integrated that is basically going to be a statement piece. It's fine for them to have a little what is that in their design aesthetic. Not everyone wants Bryson.
Yeah. That's what I said earlier.
Agree.
Dan.
Agree.
It's a conversation piece.
Agree.
Yeah.
I had to. Rachel, good one.
I don't know.
I know Rachel because she comments on the videos often. I see
Okay,
her
gotcha.
around on other channels, but
Gotcha.
yeah. Wait, are we talking about like what's his name? Oh my god, my brain.
I don't know.
The designer.
Yeah.
I don't know who she's exactly talking about, but that's pretty. Every time someone says like cult leader in audio space, is funny to me. It's like a so funny thing. Um, Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. What do you guys think about purifying hypex monoblocks and calling it a day?
I don't know. What do you think?
Uh, honestly, I look GON-FET amplifiers. I'm not against Class D because clearly GON-FET amplifiers I like,
Hmm.
right? And I can easily, very easily get a GON-FET amplifier like the AGD audience. Not every GON-FET amplifier sound the same, by the way,
Yeah.
but like the GON-FET amplifier from Live or AGD, I can get that, get a good synergistically matching system going, and call it a day. Like right now, I'm very satisfied with what I have going on right now. It's not an exorbitant price system.
Yeah.
CAF-R3, Live Harmony monoblocks, and the RF preamplifier, right? It's like
Hmm.
mid high end. Um, but like with purifying Hypex, I haven't come across a design around those modules that was
Excuse me.
like enough for me to live with, to be honest with you. Like I get the beauty of it. Like Purify sounds very like very for lack of better words, clinical, right? Hypex has a little bit of like upper dryness and glassiness to it that I can't get over. So like those modules are excellent modules and it can power like subwoofers and stuff like that. I've seen use cases for that. Even the Joseph Crowley speakers that I mentioned, I believe they use Hypex modules for the bass, right?
Hmm.
And stuff like that. But for the mid frequency and high frequency, I haven't come across a Purify or Hypex monoblock or any type of amplifier design that I can live with. So I personally wouldn't be able to call it a day with what I have experienced so far.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, my answer is very similar. I would never begrudge anybody who wants to go that direction with Purify, Hypex, or any of these brands, right? It could be Pascal. It could all of them serve their purpose, and I think you can complement them in a way. Like for example, I've heard a Hypex module not at all sound like a Class D, and that was when Marantz released the Model 30. Now, the Model 30 by itself, the integrated amp sounded exactly like a Hypex module, but
Mm-hmm.
they voiced the SACD player, which I think this is a mistake, mind you, but still, they voiced the SACD player to be so warm and dark that when you combined it with the Model 30, it actually sounded very, very good together, just because one was kind of lean and dry, the other was like saturated, warm, and dark. Put them together, fairly balanced. But God forbid you use them with different components, because then it sounds like what they are. But no, I haven't heard a Class D amp yet that I would use for a reference system for like my main system. I've yet to hear it.
And we asked
Um,
that with Accuphase too, if they ever see themselves going
yeah.
the route of Class D. We asked that question during the interview we had on the One Bit podcast episode that
Mm.
we did, so you can go look that up. But basically,
Uh-oh. Jay, did you have a problem? Did you forget to pay your internet bill there, Jay? I love, let's print screen this. Okay. According to my screen, Jay is stuck and he stopped talking. Are you guys same thing I'm seeing? Are we still live?
yeah, we're still alive. I think it
Okay.
just cut off for a second.
Yeah, you got cut off and now you look like 2 pixels. You look like me.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is it better now?
Nope.
No, it looks fine on my part.
Really.
Yeah.
Hmm.
How's it looking, guys? Did we cut off there for a
I think
second?
we
Is the
might
live
have
still
cut off.
going?
Normally people will comment when things get all wonky.
Oh yeah, I might be just lagging. I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh, why did that happen?
I don't know.
Uh,
Well, now you're looking
Oh,
cleaner.
there you got cut off, and Jay looks like he's in a 4 8.
40p. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Okay.
Okay, how
Somebody help.
about now?
Thanks.
Do I look better? God, no, I cannot be 480p.
Now you're green.
No!
Now you're green.
Why
Join me.
why am I
Join me.
green? What is
Join
going
me. Yes.
on?
Welcome to low
How about
fidelity.
now?
One of us.
It's
Okay, you're a
okay
little
now. Okay, okay. Am I green? I cannot be green. I cannot be 480p.
better now. Nice. Nice. Okay, so
No,
okay.
as I was saying, basically, I think there's a reason for that because Class A design still has lower distortion,
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to signal to noise ratio as well. So there's advantages that I think AccuFace still has with Class A that they see, so that they don't see a value in going Class D other than the smaller size and form factor.
Well, for them, it's until they get performance that they think is as good, then they'll make the switch. But right now, reconstituting a signal, which is literally what you're doing with D, is going
Mm-hmm.
to inherently involve distortion that we perceive in the upper mid range, lower treble. I've yet to hear a single topology not suffer from that. Not
Yeah.
a single one. You can always hear it.
Yeah, you think Macintosh saw our stream and was like, "Nope, cut them off now."
That's pretty much it. Hey, man, I was complimentary. That was all
I
you.
thought I thought I was like,
Yeah,
I was being fair. Um, but here, so here, there's a quick, yeah. Here's a good question.
okay.
Why are old Oppo Blu-ray players so popular?
I don't know. I didn't know they were popular.
They're popular because actually I remember this. They announced the discontinuation of the last Oppo Blu-ray player
Mm-hmm.
when I was in store working, and I was like, "What's the big fuzz about?" Bleh. And the price went up drastically for
Mm-hmm.
the Oppo players and so on. The reason for that is because you can actually play SACDs on those Oppos.
Mm.
So there's that scoop is that they can actually play a lot more other media than just Blu-ray, and a lot of Blu-ray players other outside of Oppo cannot do that. So it was actually one of the most cost-effective ways, because even now SACD players cost a lot. Even the cheapest one that I reviewed which was the Shenling Onyx, that's like $2,000 something.
They
So
did have a $1,000 something SACD player, but yeah, I get it.
yeah. So I mean, right now, as we speak, the one that is the cheapest is the in terms of transport
Yeah,
is the Shenling.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um. Cause I think you answered that fine. And plus, I don't think this has anything to do with it, but I do know and recall back when Oppo was making Blu-ray players, the video quality was usually hands down above everybody
Mm.
else's. I want to read this real quick. Carlos Gomez, no bridging and biamping are not the same thing. So, number one, I didn't know how to interpret a guy's question, but number two, yes, bridging and biamping are definitely different. On the topic of biamping, I'll be honest with you guys, unless the speaker is specifically engineered for biamping, which 99% are not,
Mm.
there's never really a benefit to doing so. The
Mm.
crossovers usually aren't even optimized for it. So,
Yeah. Here you go. Scott Wheeler. If Class
yep.
D is introducing distortion, why aren't we measuring it? The measured noise and harmonic distortion on those HyperX and purifiers are extremely low. So this is like direct
Mm-hmm.
rebuttal to what I said about Class D and AccuFace not using Class D and Class A having lower inherent distortion.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, those measurements on the Class D amplifiers, both HyperX, Purify, GON-fed amplifiers, are stupidly low. And in fact, actually now they're the switching noise is pushed up way past the megahertz range to where technically you're not even supposed to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, with this being said, what I said about AccuFace not pivoting to Class D and what they said about it is very evident on the fact that Class A, if you look up Class A technology and why Class A's have lower inherent distortion, it is the fact that Class A amplifiers, right, inherently, just by circuitry, has advantage in that design. So while Class D amplifiers have to work around that, imagine how bad Class D amplifier modules were like a few decades ago,
Mm-hmm.
right? So they had to work around that to fix that issue, whereas Class A amplifiers, by design, they have lower distortion.
Mm.
So in AccuFace's mind, it's far easier for them to work on something that has inherently lower distortion and make that more, less distortiony. I hate, what the hell am I saying? But
Mm-hmm.
it's better to do that than try to fix something, right? So yes, you're right in the sense that Class D amplifiers have stupid low distortion these days.
Yeah.
But it's also true of what AccuFace is saying about Class A.
Yeah, well, the pass into the filtering, switching, all that good stuff has a pretty big impact on
Mm.
how Class D amp will sound. But
Yeah, and
I
at the end of
still
the day,
find
I'll
that,
I'll, s- I'll say this, outside of the specs and measurements and
yeah,
stuff like the lower distortion, like they just have a more heft. Class A has more heft and more enjoyable sound that I don't have a problem that doesn't have the problems that I have with HyperX and Purify modules. My problem with Hypexing Purify modules is that glassy sound and it sounds more clinical than I would appreciate. So
Yeah.
that's that's the gist of that, right? So subjectively speaking.
I mean, yeah, from a subjective point of view, for sure. I mean, Class D, in my experience, I mean, they rock THD, Cynad, all that different stuff. You hook them up to any audio analyzer and they look great. But again, that's not what's going to reveal a lot of distortion that we do pick up on Class D. Again, filtration is going to be, or filters are going to be significant behind that distortion pattern. That's, again, not going to reveal itself there. Sean, have there been any pieces you've had to send back due to your hiatus that you wish you released a video about because it spoke to you or performed a certain way? Yes, blah. So, unfortunately, yeah, as you can imagine, a lot of companies don't like having their products in somebody's house for an extended period of time, knowing, or not, more importantly, not knowing if a review is going to come around the corner. I've communicated quite clearly with a lot of these guys. You're free to take back whatever. And some have taken me up on the offer. The ones that stand out would be the Luxman 507, I think is what it's called, the Luxman 507 integrated amp. I really like that piece. I was thinking about offering to buy it, but there were some changes going on at Luxman, so I think they were going to want it back regardless of if I had done to review that moment or not. Like, they wanted it back.
That's why he likes
But
AccuFace better than Luxman.
yeah, that's exactly it. It's just bitter. There is one thing I'm bitter about, though. They had the anniversary, the 595, and it arrived damaged. Like, one of the knobs was clearly impacted during shipment. And they're like, oh my God, we can't have you review it, even though they're really wanting me to review it. And this is back when I was still publishing reviews. So they're like, we can't have you review it. We can't, and I was the one actually pushing that. Like, dude, I can't review this. This is your big, expensive piece. I can't show off a damaged piece on camera. That's all people are going to focus on. But I offered to buy it. I was like, look, I will buy it from you. We can service it because I really like this piece. And they just would not sell me the fucking product, dude. It's the only time I've had a company just say straight up no to me buying something, which tells me that somebody else had it lined up. But yeah, the Luxman, and the last one is the Rosso Fiorentino Sortaldo. I took too long with it. The distributor needed it back, and quite frankly, they discontinued the product, which broke my heart. And because they don't have a replacement for it.
You told me that. It broke my heart too.
They don't have a replacement for it. That's what angers me the most. It's such a really good speaker.
I should have bought that speaker.
That's so easy to fucking recommend because it works in a real world environment. We know it sounds really good, a nice fusion between the audiophile stuff and warmth and good tone. And they discontinued it without a direct replacement.
What are you doing? What you doing? What you doing, Rosso?
Italians. That's all I can say. It's Italian.
What is it? What is your problem?
It's all of them. It's all of them there.
Yeah, so Scott Wheeler, but they fixed it. Class A amps do not measure lower distortion. So inherently, Class A amplifiers do measure lower in distortion. Class D amplifiers fix it. Now, if you're okay and you are chasing numbers, then go with Class D amplifier. Simple as that, because they do measure better. There's a lot of Class A amplifiers for less money that measures lower because they fix it. You're right. Class A amplifiers, however, sound better. They do. So they still do, at least for me. I don't, like I said, I don't have a problem with them producing lower distortion, but if you're talking about design, engineering, then Class A amplifiers inherently do measure lower in distortion without having to work around that. Here's a question for you.
I'm sorry, I'm like multitasking like crazy right now. Sean, do you still have your AMR CD player? Answer, yes. Is there any alternative currently in production that comes close to its performance and sound signature? No, not that I know of. Not for the money. The only digital product I've heard that sounds very different from the AMR, but also good, that I didn't want to immediately kick out of my system, and I actually ended up enjoying. Well, there's quite a few that I ended up enjoying, but one that I would keep for myself, that's a critical thing, would be the Meitner MA3 DAC. So that's not a CD player, but that is a digital
the 3i.
Yeah, the 3i. Yeah, the well, it's not technically just a DAC. It's the volume controlled DAC stream and all that. But just using it as a DAC, like that piece grew on me. Technically better than the AMR. I don't think it sounds as realistic as the AMR tonally, but it does everything pretty well. But no, I have yet to find a direct replacement for the 777 SE.
On that note of EMM Labs, I'm actually getting their stupid expensive amplifier you had.
Yeah, well,
Do
it's
you still
still
have
there.
it? Yeah, yeah, yeah. So
It's
I'm
still
getting
there,
that in.
dude. Okay, okay.
And I heard the story about how you had to haul it up the stairs, and he was asking me if I had
You need help.
stairs.
You're gonna need help.
Oh, what? It's 150 pounds.
It's not 150 pounds. It's 200 pounds created. It's over
He
200.
said 150 pounds.
It's 180 pounds raw.
Ah, he lied to me.
No, do not. I'm telling you right now, Jay, do not, because okay, so I can, doing weight, workouts and whatnot, 180 should be easy for me, but because that weight is so freaking dense behind this amplifier and how the weight is distributed in that amp, do not try to lift it by yourself at all. You need a friend or have him personally come help you. Even with two people, it's going to be kind of a pain because of, again, the size. It's just, that's a lot of
It's
concentrated
okay,
weight.
man.
No.
I've been pumping iron.
Okay, no, that's
I
not.
got I got I got. Okay.
No, you need. No, I'm dead ass, dude. Especially knowing your back and shit. Like, you need some help.
Hey. No exposing my back. Jeez. Are we still live? I think
We
we're
are.
still live, right? Okay. It's
Yeah.
just no comments coming through. Okay, I mean we've been living
It's probably
live
reached
streaming.
its natural conclusion here.
Yeah. All right, so with that being said, thank you guys for joining today, and yeah, let me know about what that Macintosh piece in the comment section, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
I'm Team Macintosh. Dude. Go orange.
All right.
I don't want to hear it from the guy who has an orange mic that you bragged about for so long. Oh, I love it. I love
Now
it.
what? Now what?
Now what?
It's naked
Yeah.
in its raw form. Does it sound better?
No. Did
No?
you blind AV it?
1 2 1 2. Here's my voice of the microphone.
Yeah.
1 2 1 2. Here's my voice of the microphone. Hey, it's actually a pretty big difference, at least from my monitoring.
Yeah. I mean,
It
I'm
sounds more
listening to you.
bassy with the thing on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gives you
Anyways, on that note, until next time.
a bit of
Peace.
testosterone you needed. Peace.